I went to a small women's college, and I was a deacon in the chapel at that school. So when I prepared my law school resume, I put that on there. So I go to an interview for a firm in Los Angeles, and they're scanning my resume, and the first question they ask me is, "Are you a Christian?" That question is illegal to ask. You're not allowed to ask people's religious affiliation. But I thought,
Wow.
here I got to stand on my faith. I said, yes, I am. And they said, we are too. And
My
that's the
goodness.
first job I took in Los Angeles practicing law. So I really very much felt that that was a job that God had for me. So you asked how I brought my faith to it. I took it right there to that first legal job. I remember being in the courtroom one day, and my firm had a really big case. I was just a junior lawyer then. And one of the attorneys asked me, "Are you going to pray that we win?" I said, no, I don't pray that we win. I pray that God's will would happen in this case. If our firm wins or loses, that's not up to me. I just do my best job. We all do our best job. So that's the kind of attitude I had about practicing law. It's in God's hands.
And so what did the attorney, or how did the attorney respond to?
They didn't love that particular answer. That particular attorney did not love that particular answer, but that's the true answer, because my true prayers had been, Lord, let your will be done in these cases. And that's how I took it with all of my cases. If we lost a case, I didn't like it, but God is sovereign. He's going to determine who's going to win cases and who's going to lose cases.
And obviously, thy will be done does not mean your work isn't done. So
Correct.
in other words, you're going to work hard, and you're going to be the very best attorney representing the interests of your client.
Correct.
But
Correct.
I think in law, as in life, if we are being obedient to him, if we're doing what we're supposed to do, then we can confidently say, Lord, your will be done. We believe
Sure.
he will work his will as we're faithful.
I absolutely agree with that, and that's how I try to, as you said, what did I bring to the law? That was one of the things I brought to the law as my Christian faith, which is I'm working for God.
That's right.
And he determines the results.
Jayna Breigh is joining us today here on the Meeting House on Faith Radio, retired attorney and current author of one particular legal thriller, but there are more
Yes.
in the works.
Yes.
This is CPE, the Christian Product Expo Summer 2025 in Duluth, Georgia. So let's talk about the hunted heir. I want to say the hunted hair, because that's kind of the alliteration there.
I created a tongue twister with that. Some people call it the haunted heir. So that's my fault. I'm sorry, you guys.
Oh, no, not a problem. It gets your attention. So, yeah, you could say the haunted heir. Is there a little bit of double meaning here?
There is a word play. So in the law, there is something called heir hunting in the field of trust and estates, where a person has passed away, often say they're 100 years old, they're in a nursing home, they have no known relatives, but they've left behind an estate of some size. Now, heir hunting law firms come to find who the intended people that would inherit are, and they can use genealogical research, they can use the internet, because some people do pass away leaving large estates with known heirs, but no one can find those people. So that's what heir hunting sort of is.
Does manipulation or deception play a part? In other words, you have people that are, they lay claim to a particular estate or a particular benefit from the death of someone, and they say they have a right to be an heir when they really don't. Does that happen?
Okay, all kinds of things happen.
I'm sure they do.
In trust and estates law, and I practiced in the field of trust and estates litigation for the bulk of my legal practice. And there are people who do things like forge wills. There are people who do things like destroy wills. There are people who do things like coerce people or trick or fool people into giving away their estate, manipulation, psychological tricks. A person could lack capacity. Imagine you have dementia or some sort of cognitive impairment, and someone, perhaps a caretaker or a relative with bad motivations, subtly insinuates themselves into your life and convinces you that you're the person that they actually want to give their estate to. All kinds of cases like that.